This is our seventh edition. So, we've year on year grown on this event. I mean, when we started, it was started with a simple aspect of promoting a surf school. And I never imagined that it's going to be a yearly thing that I'll be going through. But now, like from last year, we had a crowd of about 15,000 people who came for this. And this year we have close to 200 surfers who are actually competing. Surf, yoga, music, I mean, all these kind of go together, and each element complements the other. So the festival is really to bring in like families who will come and see surfing, to again come back and learn surfing. So if we just had a surfing competition, we probably won't have so many people coming because they don't understand what's happening. But when you bring in all the elements, then there's something for everybody.
I am doing as little as possible because it's actually a surf, yoga and music festival, but I am the brand ambassador for the Covelong Point Surf Yoga and Music Festival. It's our 7th year, so I've been coming back. Any excuse to come back for a free lunch, because the lunches here are fantastic. And I must say, it's been, see the growth of the surf school one. The standard of the surfing has been incredible, the young guys that have come through. And then also, from the impact, the socio-economic impact on the actual village itself, where fishing was the only option. Now there's a lot of homestays, they get a lot of tourists coming down to learn to surf here, people from Delhi, and locals come to surf. So it's not just international travelers, it's actually local people starting to enjoy the ocean, which is a big part of what we were trying to do here.
Like competition-wise, we have more competitors, so we have about 200 this year. So locally, we have close to about 150 Indian surfers. What is nice this year is we have 13 women taking part, which I think the last few years we've had like 5 or 6. So that's been a big jump. We want more women to come and surf. This year what's different is the Asian Surfing Circuit, which is sponsored by Rast. So they've made Chennai as one of their surf points in their calendar. So we're hoping it's going to be a yearly affair. So through them we've got close to 35 international surfers, so from 7 countries. So that's a big thing for the sport and for the city.
Well, there isn't much of a surfing scene, so it's very isolated. Surf cultures in Australia, in South Africa, even in the US, in Europe as well. France is a big surfing setup, Bali, Indonesia. So a lot of that is because the locals are very strong in the water and promote surfing in a big way and utilize it as part of the economy. So from a tourism point of view, there's great scope in India because it's very much in its infancy. So there is great growth opportunities.
See, for me, I think what I take away from the festival is really that all cultures kind of unite here. You have people from all parts of life. There's no boundaries in this festival. I mean, forget it's free, but there's no boundaries. So you have the fisher folk, you have the city folk, you have big VIP tycoons, but they all get along fine and they all enjoy the element of the festival. So for me, that's the biggest high in the festival.
I think the scope for growth, because waves are waves, no matter where you are in the world. I mean, you can't flick a switch and there's waves for you today. Some days the conditions are great. You can be in the best surf spot in the world. If conditions work against you, it's flat like a lake. So it's not about the conditions, it's more about the community and the actual surf culture. And that is really on the rise in India. But as I said, very localized, very isolated. So once that starts to get connected, I mean, there's 5,000 kilometers of coast. So once you start connecting that up, I mean, there's huge growth. Surfing's now an Olympic sport. So hopefully in the very near future, we'll see some young Indian surfers competing at the Olympics. I remember watching television surf contests. I thought these surfing guys, without looking like they've been in the gym, they actually look very healthy. And that for me was the key. So I started surfing. I didn't like the ocean. I mean, I moved from inland when I was after university. I then moved because I was playing most of my sport in Durban, which was the capital of KZN, KwaZulu-Natal. And I had to be in Durban because most of the matches were there, the flights were always from there. So I moved to the coast, having not grown up in the ocean. I was terrified of sharks, one. I would make excuses, my eyes are getting sore, I must get out the water. I really was, the ocean for me was a creepy, creepy place. And now I love it. It's actually where I almost meditate. Everyone talks about being fit and how do you stay fit. If you can adopt it into your lifestyle, it never feels like it's a fitness regime. So wife and I do yoga every day if we can. We have the ocean outside our front door. Depending on conditions, maybe we'll surf with our kids. So it's a part of a family thing we do together. The major change and the thing I'm most proud of is not the level of surfing, because that's a sport. It's incredible and it's a great opportunity for some of these youngsters. But what we have seen here from a socio-economic point of view, the impact that surfing has had on Covelong, the village itself, that for us has been incredible. I'm not saying we've come here and we've changed everything and we've modernized. It's still very much a traditional fishing village, but it's given people another avenue. And if you look outside from a beach perspective, one of the cleanest beaches that I've surfed on in India especially, people take a lot of pride, and not just the surf school, the whole village takes a lot of pride in what they've achieved here. So I think that for me has been the biggest success story for us. Not just the standard of surfing, but how we've impacted and included everybody in the community.